Hey everybody, it's me. I'm making a game. It's called the Godkiller. I'm called the Eric. And people are asking me all the time, like all the time, like 3 times today, what is the nature of consciousness in the universe? And I always say, that's an excellent question. And it's going to apply to your life and what you're doing today and what errands you decide to run. Do I have consciousness? Do you have consciousness? Are you self-aware? Is self-aware the same thing as being conscious? Does this fuzzy white ball have consciousness? And the first few questions maybe seem obvious, but what about this guy? What about this little guy? Can he think and dream and believe and hope? You say no. He's just a little fuzzy ball. Got him at the dollar store, maybe. No. Okay. Well, don't be so hasty, okay? So, like, what if? Just draw a little face on him. Just put a little face on him. Just put a little mouth there. Make it a happy mouth. There we go. All right. Now, what do you think? What do you think, man? Is this little white fluffy ball conscious? And you're saying, no, you idiot. He doesn't have a brain. He doesn't have a nervous system. But that's very, very human-centric, maybe other kinds of centric. So because you're human, you think like certain things are required to have consciousness, and you assume they're all the things that you have. This guy may have his own form of consciousness, okay? And you don't understand it. Now, and even here I'm making assumptions because I'm assuming that the person watching this video is a human being like me, but it could be that there's another white ball on the other side that's watching this and looking at it, and he's communicating telepathically with this guy and saying, what is the deal with that furniture you have that you're sitting on? This furniture, it's very strange looking. And he's talking about me like I'm a chair for this little guy, right? And anyways, my point is, it's all from your perspective. You don't know if that little guy has consciousness or not. Okay. So that was one thing I came to talk about. It was very important. I had to get it off my chest. But also I'm going to talk about my game. And I think that's more important to most people than what I just said, even though you're wrong about that. I just gave you the most important thing right there. Okay, so these sessions, they're structured the same way. I always say some weirdo nonsense at the beginning, like what you just heard. Then I get maybe a little more serious and start doing a demo of my game, the Godkiller, and recent progress made in it. And then after that, I'll just do some work. I'll work for some hours. And any one of those 3 things might interest or bore you. But I'm very predictable with the structure, so you can skip past or attend as you see fit. So let me show you what I got. Show me what you got. Okay. So this creature I'm controlling is called M. That's her name. And she moves around the world. If she dies, she gets reborn in an egg. These things, they're eggs. Okay, I've had this stuff done for a long time. I'll get to what's recent, but just a little primer. Okay, so she dies, and then she immediately goes back to the egg. Now, if she comes over here, touches this egg, the name M now goes over and appears on top of the egg. That's the new thing. I just recently added this this name right here that goes on top of the egg that shows you where she's going to be born when she dies. And there's even some more nuances to the rules. Like, you can see this egg has got 4 doorways, north, south, west, east. So it rotates clockwise which door that she comes out of. Now I took them off of the level, but also the same rules apply to other creatures in the game that M may kill. They are immediately reborn inside of the nearest egg to them. The rules are slightly different for M. When she goes near an egg, it changes her birth egg to that egg. Whereas the creatures, when they die, they don't get to kind of touch eggs and plan where they're going to be reborn. They just are reborn in the nearest egg. So I added that M on top of it. That was a bit of a trick. That is a texture applied to a mesh which has the same shape as the underlying egg. I call it an egg hat because it's kind of like a little hat, like a little yarmulke that's on top of the egg. You can't see the outline of it. You will when I go to the scene view. The other thing I did last night was I added that little flashing effect, which is taking the texture of the egg and increasing the intensity of its emission so that it glows. But there are various problems with it. And I didn't feel great about ending the session last night without fixing them all. I could kind of say by the letter of my own law that I did complete my mission for the session. But I feel like I wiggled out of something here. Like I really need to fix these last remaining problems. I'll tell you what they are. One is that every time that I take a step by the egg, it will make that flash. And I only want to flash when the birth egg has been changed. So when you come up here, I want it to flash. You come down here, I want it to flash. But if you keep stepping around it, I don't want it to keep flashing. So that'll be an easy one. The other one is that this glow is weak, and I meant for it to be strong. I meant for it to get so bright that it would disguise the appearance or disappearance of the word M on top of the egg. So I need to tweak with the parameters a little bit. I don't even know if that's a proper bug. I suspect it's just maybe I set the properties a little bit differently that influence like how long the effect lasts and how bright the glow gets. So that's it. There's not much there. It's going to be a short session. I'm kind of trying to keep this session short because I want to go hang out with my wife and watch some movies and stuff, and do a little weekend fun with that. This is fun for me too, but this is going to be a short session unless something goes horribly wrong, and then I'll get really angstful about the whole thing. Okay, it's hot, so I'm going to turn my fan back on, which means a little bit of background drone, but I think you can deal with it. I'm going to take off my socks. If you take off your socks, it goes a long ways towards making you feel cooler. That's not random nonsense. It's actually true. If you haven't learned that yet, covering or uncovering your extremities makes your temperature change quite a bit. Okay, so let's get to work. I'm going to do that first one to start, which is I just don't want the birth egg to change every time you're near it. That's it. So let me think about where I want to fix that. I think there's maybe even another bug here, which is instead of calling this function, I should be calling a new one that I wrote, which handles the effects more correctly. Okay. So then I go back over here. I've got all this logic for changing the birth egg of the player or creature. I think I just want to add some code that says if the existing, or if the previous birth egg is the same as the new birth egg, just don't do anything. No. Yes, this should be a pretty easy one. Okay. Since there's an opportunity to return early here, I'll move this down further for performance. Okay. So this is a big block of code. I feel like it could benefit from some comments. Alright, these kinds of things end up saving me a little bit of time later on. Also, sometimes when I type out a comment, it reminds me of something I should be doing in this function or somewhere else. So it's like an extra little check while I'm writing the code that I'm doing the correct thing. Sometimes a problem is discovered just because I can't write a good description, or when I write a description that's complete enough, it highlights something else I need to do. So I do recommend it. Not every single time, every single place write comments, but when you see like a big old block of code like that, it's a good opportunity probably to write some comments. Okay. And I know that I broke some stuff by adding an extra param here, so let's go see what it's calling die. And I should just be able to pass some effects to it. I very inconsistently use the ref keyword. I don't feel like fixing that right now. I discovered a little bit late that if you don't pass ref, the instance it's passed is still writable, so there's no point in adding that ref there. I don't think there is for a object instance parameter. But since I'm fixing one function, I think I'm going to take out the ref just on this one, not everything. I'll pull the sweater thread a little bit, but not all the way. Otherwise, I'll be spending an hour removing refs, and I'll probably, in my boredom, introduce errors. When you do something again and again, that's when you're likely to make an error. This one I'm not sure about. Here's the sweater thread right here. All right, I'll pull it just a little bit further. Like that. Now this one is going to start complaining. Let's see what happens when I compile it. Sometimes it's the fastest way to find what problems a change caused. It's compilation problems. Yeah, so I got to fix all these places. But these changes are actually necessary, because the second parameter I have to pass it. These are interesting. At some point, not tonight, I wouldn't mind just spending a session just drilling in on a whole bunch of these things. So it says it's an expensive method invocation. I believe it. Push does a lot of work, but I could drill into it and see what it thinks is taking a long time. Okay, let's see if I corrected all the compilation problems. Okay. That was good. It didn't flash there. I'll go down here. Yep. Okay. Okay. So now I'm in scene view. And here's the egg hat I was telling you about. Not to be confused with an ass hat. This is an egg hat. And there's just well, there's one for each egg, but they're visible or not depending on different effects. So I've got a whole bunch of properties here. And I want to make them last much longer so I can see what's going on. I think that's the first thing. You can't really read these that well, but there's some that are durations. So those last four are durations. And let me just set them up really friggin' high. 10 times. 10 times longer. So attack and decay. So when I select, I'm saying that it should take 2 seconds to finish going from the brightness it is now to the maximum brightness for the glow. That should give me a lot of time to see where it's going as far as how bright it's getting and stuff like that. And then the decay for selecting is 8 seconds. So it'll take 8 seconds from the peak to fade back down to the not glowing at all look that it has right now. Okay. Unselect is intended to be a much briefer effect, because when you change the selection, I would like it if your eye goes to what's being selected instead of what's being unselected. But I still want it to be there because there's the hope that when the glow gets bright enough that it will obscure the appearance or disappearance of these letters. I don't have a smooth, they fade in or out type of a thing. It seems a little difficult to do that and not worth the effort. So instead I'm like glowing really bright, and then at the brightest amount it should obscure those letters, and then I can switch the state to on or off, hide or show. Okay, so let me just see what this has done. Okay, so I only set those different properties on the bottom one, not the top one. So the top one's still doing its old behavior. It still seems like it's finishing up really fast. I don't understand that. So okay, bear with me. I just ate some teriyaki, and my teeth are bugging me. I'm gonna go brush them real quick. I'll be right back. I promise. You know, there's only one drink in the world that tastes good after you've brushed your teeth. Root beer. Just think about it. Root beer tastes okay, even maybe slightly better after you brushed your teeth. You don't want to mess around with orange juice after you brushed your teeth. Yes, you do. Okay. All right. So I'm doubting that this thing is honoring the timing properties that I've specified. I'm doubting that. Okay, so if I go west, the egg is supposed to take 2 seconds, which is a long time in the world of games, to light up, and then it should take 8 seconds to go back down. So it should be like a full 10 seconds of seeing it glow and everything. Let's see what actually happens. I mean, it was all over in about 4 seconds, and the selection didn't start right away. So something's screwy there. This might be a good opportunity to do what I was already planning to do. Just refactor those transitions. Okay, so all of the logic for this timing is down here. I've got this kind of, it feels overwrought and not very dry. A lot of copy and paste type code here, and I'm basically doing the same thing for 4 different states. Do I have any static variables in this? Just the color ID up here. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So let me not delete everything that's in here, but I'll make a second version of it, which I think will replace the first. So I'm a little bit unsatisfied with this code. Another way of thinking about it is I probably am going to have to write code like this again, and it may be worth refactoring. Let's call this update. Delete me. To do. So let's just add some new variables just to see them all in one place. I may move them or fix them up a little bit differently later. Float start. I'm now thinking of this as like a general class. It could be used in more than one animation type effect. Wanted to see if lerp will clamp if you pass a value that's past the max. Yep, it's clamped. Okay, cool. These are great warnings, by the way. Great for finding code that's not active, but I'm going to make it active, so that will be moot shortly. So my idea was create these classes for each of the 4 transitions. So there is select, attack, interpolation, I wish I could just... never mind. Okay. And actually I can set this at the bottom. Okay, that's looking better. Yeah. Well, let's get rid of the rest of this. Maybe it'll figure out the syntax highlighting. Yeah. Okay, down at the bottom, I'll set the glow. Okay, last thing. I'm just going to bite the bullet and delete all this. I don't see anything that needs to be kept. Seems pretty good. I think instead of me saying debug points all over, I'll just write some logging. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to figure out what's going on with timing issues to use instrumentation instead of stopping the execution of what you're evaluating. Let's try it. Okay, I'm looking at the log now. I didn't see if it flashed, but according to this, it did. I wasn't paying attention. There was no flash, but it did go through all the states. It went through them in 2 calls. I can tell because like the time here is the same for one for the select and one for the unselect. They're both rising here, but then the next call it was immediately in the next state. So that probably means that my is complete is not right. Yeah, so I've just got this flipped around the wrong way. And while I'm at it, I like this simpler notation. Whereas some people don't see it as simpler, but I find it pleasing. And I think I can even, not that everything is improved like this, but this is such run-of-the-mill code. Like, it's not hard for me to eyeball it and see pretty quickly what's going on with it. So might as well make it a nice little one-liner. Okay, this is different. There's 2 statements here. I don't want to one-line it. Okay. Is it still playing? I hate it when I save when it's playing. I think I did. I did. Never a good idea. I thought I'd change something so it wouldn't do that, but apparently not. Alright. So that was a pretty good use of just the logging statements to debug. Actually, I did find the problem just based on the logging statements. Okay, and again I wasn't paying attention, but it seemed like... No, okay, so here it went over several iterations. I don't know if I saw any glow, but I wasn't paying close attention, that's the thing. Okay, there is a glow. It was over too fast. Both of them did something. It just was very, very fast. So let's just set these to 10 times longer. You know what I think it might be is there's it's a bunch of intensity values that are not actually represented as glowing. I think that's what it is. So I've been playing with the durations, trying to get it to sort of prolong, but I think it's just a portion of that range that is actually visible as a glow. If I set the minimum intensity to something like, let's try -1. Let's set these ones up higher. What the hell, man? Let's just make it really fucking ridiculous. I'm tired of everything not really registering. Let us make it stupid. Gotta get stupid sometimes to get smart. Okay, now it's actually looking like something. So that was unselect. Now if I do a select, it should get stupid. There we go, that's stupid. Okay. Still took a really long time to return down to 0. It kind of makes me think something's off there. Something's off. So the decay is not decaying gracefully. Or I should say the range that it's going to doesn't seem quite right. Yeah, so the intensity is getting set to 0 over a pretty long duration. It goes 9, 10, and as soon as as soon as I go to unselect, as soon as I am in the unselect, that's 0. Oh wait, no, that's wrong. Okay, but it's okay. I'm getting mixed up because unselect and select are going at the same time. It looks kind of like the select decay is going to a different range here. Okay. I'm just going to take all these numbers and plug them into the consts. So I want to rule out some other problem with the properties not updating these. See, this is setting the intensity to -10 again. Oh, it's retaining this stuff. I don't know. I think those props just aren't really worth all the trouble. Let me fiddle with it without using them that way. Okay, it's still taking 10 seconds to go back to finish the second interpolation, and during that time the intensity is 0 for many of the seconds involved. Let me see if I can get to the okay. So the very first one sets the intensity to 0. As soon as I go to select decay, immediately intensity is 0. So here I say start select decay interpolation. Oh, I know why. I know why. Here's how I fix it. I don't allow this. I just say you have to say from value each time. Or set a different a from value here. That would do it. That's really annoying. Okay. So this should start getting me very close. By the way, I got one more thing to add also, which is a sound effect for selecting. Oh. Better redo this. Okay, as it should be. It's too long. That's okay though. I can fix that. I find that quite pleasing. It's actually kind of good to see it stretched over that duration, because then I can check a few things. So what I'm going to look for is on the unselect egg, this one over here, does it get bright enough that it disguises the text disappearing? It probably gets way too bright, actually. Yeah. So it looks like around 5 is the intensity that makes it bright enough to make the swap. So I'll start playing with these values. I don't think the max on this has to be as large as it is. I'll try 10. I just don't want to be like crazy. It's all fun to have lots of bloom and glow, but there is such a thing as too much. I think those peak intensities are pretty good. I wanted the selection one to draw your attention and the unselect one to just be enough to disguise the transition of the text. Okay. So, let me think about this. Unselect. I could try it with my original durations. I got a feeling that they weren't bad. So this will be 1/10 of the speed that we just watched it at. I think this is good. Alright, so now at the top of my screen, what does it say? It says finish the egg, finish the goddamn egg. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it right now. And there's just one thing remaining on this thing before I say 100% done. All done. So many things I've added to this. There's this glow you just saw. There's the 3D modeling. I added more details to it so it wouldn't look as plain. There's that M on the top of it. There's particle effect and the exit glow. Each of those took one session apiece. The only thing left is some kind of sound effect for changing the birth egg. What am I hearing in my mind? Wow. 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 Wow, wow. Maybe, is it two? It's like one for unselect, one for select. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. It could be melodic. It could be one low note and then a high note. If I do melodic, that means I would pick an instrument and it will play in key. Any melodic sound effect, like this one, will play in the key that is current. So keys are like C sharp, major, G minor, stuff like that. Here we go. Here's another example. Okay. And if I change the key, easily done. This little developer cheat, but also it can be done programmatically. Now it's E minor. Affects all the sound effects that are melodic. Some are not melodic and they aren't affected. So we go womp womp, womp womp, womp womp. I can time it to be the same as the effect. It'd be womp womp, womp womp. Oh, I thought something even better. Okay. So each egg in the scene, I can give one of three notes. Okay? So in any of the keys, there are three notes which are in the key. So if it's C major, it's like C, maybe, I forget what they are, C, E, D. So, you know, there's three notes, each one of the keys. So I can assign a note to each egg in the level, and it will always play the from and to notes that go with that egg. So it would go womp womp if you go in one direction. If you go in another direction, it'll go womp womp, womp womp, bump womp, womp womp. So like this. Womp womp, bump bump, bump bump, bump bump, bump bump, bump bump. If there was a third one, it would be bump bump, 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 bump bump. Okay? That also gives you something to play with. Like if you're digging the music when you're listening to it, and you want to like just kind of jam along with it, you can like cause these sound effects to be played. Okay, that's what I want to do. quite certain of it. Let me go find the instrument that correlates well to it. I'm thinking woodwind sounds like a nice thing to me. But let me not decide too quickly. Sometimes it does this. It just decides it no longer wants to move up or down here. There we go. There we go. Okay, audio. Okay, so these ones I did high woodwinds. No, not that high. Okay, those are fours. Could go low woodwinds. Let me see. What else did I use woodwinds on? I think the Fling Guide. But there I used an assortment of them. Maybe something like a bassoon. Have I used a bassoon yet? It's a xylophone. Stairs are a string instrument. Okay, let me see what I got for instruments I haven't used yet. I might be tapping out this this Carnegie Mellon collection of classical instruments. It does feel like I'm getting to the point where I've maybe used most of them, all of them. Okay, so let's kick out the nightly backup. Also, I could do more than one note. So if I have 3 notes, that gives me 3 unique combinations. But if I play 2 notes together, that gives me A plus B, B plus C, A plus C. It's the same number. It's 3 either way, so it's just whichever sounds better. Licensed. I worry so much about grabbing something that is not mine to use or licensed to me to use. Let me just look at this real quick. So everything here is pretty scrupulously licensed, either by me buying from someone or using the generosity of people who have used an open license to distribute their work. So let me see. What do we got? A bassoon. That sounds magical to me. Let's go low. Let's hear what low sounds like. Now it's a longer note than I wanted for this effect. I could fix that with audio editing. If I like this sound, you know, it can be womp womp. Although it might be better to find a different sample. It's got like a mixture of staccato and sustained recordings for it, then I'll get something a little more authentic sounding. So let's take a look at bassoons. These are all sustained. That's cool, but I just want to hear them. They might sound beautiful. Okay, but I'm realizing that I used that for the apple of infinite speed. I don't want to reuse it. Bass clarinet, let's try that. I think that's it. I think that's it right there. Oh, that sounds cool to me. Boom, boom. What if I combined a high note with a low note? Let me try that. Okay, that's low. That's a really charming sound. Bass clarinet. Just a beautiful instrument. Alright, I gotta do a test. I gotta see if I can shorten the note without it sounding artificial. So let's take a few of these and open them in Audition. Okay. Okay. So what I can do is I can drag over one here, the second one over here. And I know already that this is not even going to be close to the durations that I want. So I'm going to shrink this down. And I honestly know the durations that I want. They're back in my code over here. So I have select and unselect. Okay. So I'm just going to lay out these events on the timeline that goes with the audio, and then I'll think about how I want to arrange the sounds to match up with them. So I know to start out, two things happen at one time. The select and the unselect attack begin simultaneously. So that happens at 0 on the timeline. The unselect reaches the peak of its attack. When I say attack, I mean like a value that's increasing. Okay, it reaches the peak of its attack at 1/10 of a second. The select reaches the peak of its attack another 1/10 of a second later. So I'm going to put those two events down here. And you can see that it's helping me out a little bit. See, it goes 0.1, 0.2, etc. So I put a marker here just to remind me that this is where okay, I'll use that to represent the peak of unselect. I abbreviated it quite a bit. Okay, and then another one here. These are just guides for me. They're not actually doing anything. Okay, and this is select. That's the peak of select. Okay, now when does unselect finish? It's at 0.3 of a second, basically 0.1 plus 0.2 equals 0.3. So by here, we'll say minus. It's just my convention to show that it's completed. The decay on select, the whole thing lasts 1 second. So way off over here, we've got okay. So that's it. And then if you notice, all these things happen really fast. But the sound effects in question are so much longer than that. So the question is, can I finesse them so that they play at a shorter duration and still sound reasonably good? And even like, it makes me sad that they would just sound reasonably good. I want them to sound beautiful, because they're really nice sounds. I don't want to mess them up terribly. So I can do a lot of non-destructive editing in here and play with this. Okay. Now I'm being really brutal here about ending right when the visual effect has ended, but I may not need to be that brutal. I can probably fudge it a little bit. So let's see what this sounds like to start. Oh, these are both, I accidentally did the same sample twice. So let me bring in G sharp into the mix. They also have a fairly long, not to confuse attack with the visual effect with attack with the samples, but the attack on these samples comes in pretty slow. It takes a whole 1/10 of a second. So my thought is, okay, this one I'll leave it because well, okay, I'll take a little bit off. Okay, it's there. This one really needs to start fast. So I'll go ahead and truncate that because it just has such a short amount of time to say its piece. So let's try that. I keep forgetting the hotkeys. What are they? What is it? Clip, split, where is it? Split, where is it? You're jumping around between all these different programs. It's pretty tough to remember all the keys that are second nature to me once I'm in one program for a little while. In fact, I remembered it just a moment ago. And it was either Shift K or it was Bam K or it was Shift K. No? God, I thought for sure. And now I can't find it in the menu. Well, you know, there's do a logarithmic fade there. Okay, is logarithmic the way to go? Maybe I want to be a little more abrupt at the end, kind of like that. Okay, that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is go ahead and let the first note play longer and just bring in the second one to harmonize with it and have them both fall off at the end. Now that sounds terrible because the particular notes that are sampled there are not harmonizing. But after I get into my engine, it will pick notes that harmonize because everything plays in key inside of the engine. So this sounds kind of bad just because it doesn't harmonize. But the bad side of using this approach, the good side is you get to hear the first note longer, and it kind of sounds neat to have them playing together because it's a chord. The bad side is it makes the difference between selecting one egg or another not matter as much for what sound effect you hear. So you don't preserve the identity of one egg having a certain sound effect with this approach. I could show you what I mean pretty quickly. So remember this? Okay. And I go back over like that, pull this one this way, so that it starts, it's like the first that plays. Then it sounds a little bit like, wow, I didn't do a great job there. Yeah, very little difference between the overall sound of this too. So I'm going to just hit undo a bunch of times, make it go back the first way. Okay. Of course it sounds horrible when it plays like a siren again and again and again. But it's going to be more like let's see. Just drop another one way out here so it won't loop so fast. Alright, or you just turn off looping. There we go. So let's see. And to go back the other direction. Yeah. And it will actually sound a little bit better than this because the notes chosen will harmonize. Okay, I'm going to try one other thing. So I am liking this, but I'm curious, what if I reverse this? I don't know if I can do that non-destructively. No. So I don't see an easy way to do it. It is a long shot anyways. I'm not going to spend more time on that. I'm pretty happy with this. Maybe consider some kind of reverb effect on it to make it sound just a little more substantial. Let's add it to both tracks. That was track 1. Put it on track 2 as well. Okay. So if I use this effect, I'll actually have to let the sound effect go out further, so that you get that cool afterglow in it. So here's what it sounds like. I'll try a few other things. I think I've got it. So next thing is to bring in samples and have them sort of truncated and processed in the way that I've shown you. I'm using different reverb for the two things. I like this other mastering reverb. It's kind of a tighter reverb. Doesn't sound quite as crazy, but this other one's got like this sort of, well, ethereal is what the name of it was, but it's got this nice mysterious sound to it after it gets done. So let me try it one more time. I think that's it. Okay, so let me bring in other samples. There are going to be ones in the second octave. I got some of them in there already. I'm going to do ones for the starting note and ones for the ending note. So what we got? G sharp, G. Cool. I get 4 on this one. Sometimes they only give me 3 in one octave, but this one I get 4. So open those with addition. Come back to this session here. It's used for design. Okay. So leave that there as a pattern. Yeah, it might be easier to start them off like this, just to get the duration and timing consistent. Because then I can see them all lined up in a column. So put them down here. Let's see what we got. D, okay. B, and F. There's the split. It's weird, when I started thinking about it, it wouldn't work. When I actually just did it, it worked. I think it has to do with left Command K or something like that. I don't know. Maybe not. Okay, let's take this. Bring it over here for the long one. Also, I realized that ethereal thing is helping me not feel like the truncation is sounding wrong. It's hard to explain why. I think because it sounds like an intentional effect, as opposed to like I'm just contriving the sound to be what I want. So it sounds like some other effect that was unnatural or environmental, maybe something besides the instrument caused it to sound that way at the end. So therefore it lets me let go, that it didn't decay in the way a normal instrument would. It didn't stop with all the sounds you might associate with someone with lungs and an actual physical instrument in their mouth, in coming to a stop with the sound they were making. Okay, I'm just gonna get these all as best I can to match first one. It's weird that it's not showing me. Huh. I somehow got this into a state where the first curve control is not available for me to mess with anymore. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I'm just not able to. Anyways, I think it'll be okay. Okay, you want to hear something horrible? These notes were not made to play together, but they're gonna. That is disharmony. But it's gonna be okay. Okay, I want these all to be pretty close to the same. Looks like these can come out a little bit. Okay. So which one was the long one? Which was the short one? This one has got the long one, I believe. This is the studio reverb one. Yeah, this is the short one. Okay. So I lined them all up column-wise just so I could compare all of their settings more easily and get them comparable. But in a moment, I'm going to align them row-wise so that they go together with the track qualities. So let's go alphabetical, B2, give it a little bit of trail because it's got some reverb. You guys just get out of my way for a little bit. Just move you off over here. Okay. Down here, give it a little bit of trail, a little bit space in between, because I know that the reverb effect is going to go on a bit. In fact, I'll give it a lot. I'll give it a lot. Okay. And then F is next. Okay, now I'll take these guys up here, put them on the first track, because the first track has got the ethereal reverb, which is appropriate for the long note. I gotta space them similarly, actually with much more length between them. So let's give it, if I start these on even increments, it'll be easier for me to keep track. Let's give them a full second. Okay. 10 seconds of bass clarinets with various effects and notes. I'm enjoying that already, but it feels like they might even need more clearance. So even if I don't choose to use all that clearance, I don't want the reverb to bleed into the next note, because I'm going to have to chop these up to make individual samples, and I just don't want that reverb to be present from the previous note for this longer ethereal thing. So let me make it kind of ridiculous. Let me give it a full, let's say, ten seconds, I guess. Have you start on 10. These guys I might as well do something somewhere with. It won't hurt anything to do this. And I'll be absolutely sure they're not bleeding into each other. I didn't hear anything there that sounded like they were, but better safe than sorry. Okay. I want to say thank you to Carnegie Mellon University for being generous with your licensing of media and source code. I've benefited from some of your open source contributions as well. It's a cool thing when people support creativity by licensing with open source licenses. Okay. So I can see in the level meter, I can see the level going slowly down. It's almost there. It's silent there. So my guess of it taking like a full 10 seconds was not a bad guess. And I kind of don't mind leaving that lengthy trail on. Okay. So this is a fair amount of sound design. It's worth saving, I believe. Let us go to my work assets folder, sound effects. Okay, 44 mono 16-bit. Let me just see if those are the same settings that I have on the other samples. These are 44.1 mono, probably 16-bit. Okay, cool. Might as well be in the same audio settings for both things. Okay. So this sound design part is pretty close to being done. Let's multi-track, mix down this whole thing. Okay, and bring this guy up. And it's the same audio as before. now I want to set my markers to mark where I'm going to chop up these samples. So we'll call this, I should actually give them the same name as I want the file to be. So let's call it unselect birth egg B2. And I can get these closer into each other. They don't have to be. I can see, just looking at the line, my level went down to 0 here, so I'll be fine. Okay, that's fine. I can't remember. Can I do pound signs? Yes, I can. 2. Okay. Alright, so those are all the unselects. It does feel like I don't have them in the right order. Dun, 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 dun. What order do I have them in? Let me go back to the original. It should be like duh, 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 something like that. What are these? That one's B. That one's D. I do not know why it's going duh, 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 duh. I'm feeling skeptical about the notes assigned to these. B to D should be going up. And if these are wrong, it is such a pain in the fucking ass to get them right again later. So I might as well, or to kind of debug them, I'm going to have to open them up fresh. B, then we go to D2, and damned if it didn't go down. Okay, so let me get this right. Let me get this right, because it is a pain in the ass to debug it later. Online pitch detector, my old friend, also known as the Tuner Ninja from Don Gooding, another benevolent soul who has released something for free for the good of humanity and possibly self-promotion. So, okay, the way to do this, let's get both of them on the screen at one time so I can flip back and forth between them easily. Boo, boo, boo. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Okay, so then we go back to what? There we go. Good. But I assert that this will not be D2. What? Oh, I'm confused. Duh. Does that not sound like it's going lower to you? Apparently I'm sharp. Okay. So maybe they're not ordered how I expect them to be. I'm really confused by this. I have to get it right, because if I don't assign the notes correctly, the interpolation of the pitches for the samples that aren't present is going to be wrong. Let me check the other stuff. So B2, D2, confusion there. Okay, if I go to F2, it's a complex sound. It wavers a little bit. So I think the tuner picks it up at the beginning at F2. Yeah, I think its pitch just doesn't hold steady throughout the note. But it's basically F2. But okay, if I go D2, okay. So what? God, it confuses the hell out of me. Okay, the other thing I'm going to look at in this tuner, sorry, I had to sneeze. The other thing I'm going to look at in the tuner is the frequency. Okay, because maybe there's just something about my ear. Okay, to me it sounds like when I played those 4 notes there, I intentionally put B2 at the end. It sounded like the highest of the 4 notes. So to me that should have been like a B3. That should have been like you're going up to the next octave. Tuner Ninja and Carnegie Mellon University disagree with me. But there's one other measure which would assure me, and that would be the frequency here in hertz. So that's a little more objective and avoiding maybe esoteric knowledge about music and you know how you declare an octave that I might be ignorant of. If I get the frequency showing that it's going up or down, then I'll just chalk it up to me not hearing the sound right. If it looks like it's going in the right direction. So higher sounding notes have a higher frequency, and the frequency is the number of times that you get a peak in the sound wave, and that peak represents air being compressed or around your ear. So if you ever try to do like a really low note, you go, and it starts to sound like little clicks. I'm explaining too much. Let me just get to my task. Okay, so D2. $72 hertz. B2, if it is lower than the number 72, I will move on and trust what two sources are telling me. 72. 72, are we lower than 72? No, we're not. We're not. Okay, so it's good for my sanity that the note I hear is actually higher. There must be some convention to music where sometimes you would say that that note would be in a, yeah, there must be like oh, you know what it probably is? Octaves start on C. An octave starts on C. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's got to be it. Let me double check that. What note does an octave start on? Yes, the octave starts on C and ends on B. Ah, okay. Damn, that's an important bit of knowledge. Okay, no problem. No problem. So it means okay. My music chopping is fine. Let me go back to what I was doing. Let me turn off Tuner Ninja. Thank you, Tuner Ninja. Thank you, Don Gooding. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious to me now. I was just assuming, for whatever reason, that it would go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like that. But if I just thought a little bit longer, I would have remembered. I did remember towards the end. Okay. So we'll do it the same way as before. And let me see, how far out do I really want to have this go? That's far enough right there. In fact, I'll just cap it at 6 seconds. And I can do try that. That's how I'll do it. Okay, how far did I take that in? About to 4 seconds. Okay, cool. Oh man, but then it'd be harder for me to repeat that same timing if I delete all that silence between the two. So let us just move this out for now. In fact, I think I'll just do them all and then I'll set the markers. That'll be easier. Okay, so then this will go out to 16. Come in 4. 4? Is that how far I went in? That seems excessive. Let me check this other one again. Oh, man. All my timings are messed up. Okay, hold on. Let's leave these guys on the 10s. It'd be a lot easier for me to fix the timings on everything. Okay. Let's do that again. Dang it. It's still not on the 10s. Let's go to 4. How does that sound? What's this? Alright, let's hear it one more time before we get to chopping. And there's like one more I gotta put on the end. Okay, so let's save this. Okay. So this will put them all inside of the sound effects asset directory. And that should do it. Okay. Now just double check what we got over here. Cool. So there's 4 of those, and down here there's 4 of those. Okay, I gotta make all these addressable. Force to mono. Oh, I can do them all. I forgot. Here. Let's down. Nope. Addressable, force to mono, apply. I don't know why these are yellow instead of orange, but that's alright. I come back over here and I start adding in some sound effects to the sound effect manager. So this should be alphabetical. So here, yeah, I got this starting in at A. And all these other ones seem to have worked. So I think I better stick with what has worked, even though I know that there's some weirdness with B versus... Did any of these other ones have a B, though, as a starting instrument? None of them did. Not one. Okay. Did any of them have something besides C as a starting one? Nope. Okay. So I was right to have my spidey sense tingling. Let's just say to do octaves start at C, not A. So any melodic sound effect with samples beginning before C is likely to interpolate wrong. Check melodic clip set. I'm going to say review melodic clip set. So I can leave out that B sample for now, which may cause some quality problems. But it'll be better than having bad interpolation. Okay, so it's called select birth egg and unselect birth egg. It'd be better if I inverted them. So I go noun verb. Let me fix that. I got one other option, but no, don't do it. Okay, get rid of fucking iTunes. Goddamn iTunes, always trying to start up on me. No, go away. Never come back. Uninstall if you are able to, but you're not. Oh yeah, the other thing I gotta do is fix the addressables, because they'll retain the old one, and what I really want is for them to have the new addressables. Okay, let me see if that fixed it. It did. Well done, Unity. So let's see, the first one is B, but I can't use B. I gotta go to D. So that means null, 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 null. 5 nulls. Say birth. No, it's not B2. It's like just birth select. Okay, birth. D2. Okay, and it's 2 nulls and then F. The nulls are the notes that will be interpolated. Okay, then it's null, null, G sharp. Okay, so this should be a total of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Cool. Then there is second sound effect, also melodic, birth, unselect. To do, add B2 in after above resolved. So probably the notes from A to C sharp are going to, maybe not A to C sharp, but A to B. The first 3 notes are going to sound a little weak, a little artificial compared to the rest. But it shouldn't be too bad. Okay. So that should take care of that. Now, got to do some more glue work. I got these wrong. Birth, egg, egg. There's a problem. It just keeps on overriding the thing I'm trying to type in front of. That's a really easy way to cause errors. Okay. getting there. Okay, so it's going to be a little like this. Let's see. Oh, whoa, sorry, hey, Parch, I got so into my own stuff. Oh, except you're a bot, though. You're a bot. I mean, I'm reading your message, and I see, like, everything is sort of a insertion. So, I'm not sorry that I missed you. Unless you're not a bot, then just prove you're not a bot. Just say something that actually applies to me and is not text inserted from what. Alright, and because I don't like to give you folks any time to advertise yourself, I'm going to just boom, clear the chat window. If you're not a bot, I'm sorry. Say something else, I guess, that's maybe more intelligent. Okay, public, static. Birth egg select. No. Man, these autocompletes are out of control. Int, I'll call it egg no. And let's say int variant I equals egg no %3 bonus. Let's see. Play variant at position variant I. But it's not bonus, it's birth egg select. Okay. What? Get over it. Okay, save that. So far, so good. Next thing is update the effects. Player select birth egg effect. What is the best way to do this? So I want to get a unique number for each egg. Let's say just say egg pieces get an egg number assigned. Okay. So it doesn't have to be that meaningful. just do static number. It doesn't matter if it loops around or anything. It doesn't have to be reset in between scenes. Cool. What was the constructor? There it is. Ooh, I've got these default values set. That means my parameter has to come sooner. And let's see. Oh, Command W doesn't close, huh? Yeah. Wow. Alright, whatever. Okay, so I should do that. This has to go earlier. Really? You're not showing the thing at the beginning? Okay. Okay, so that should set that. So then Godkiller, when it creates these sound effects, it's going to have to specify an eggno. No, I can get that inside of the effect. Okay, so back to the effects. equals egg piece. Get egg now. Okay, I want to wait though until okay, so I want to wait to play the sound effect for a certain duration, unselect. It'll be const float. Okay. I think that's right. So many things that keep in my head at once. Aesthetics, where are you at? Select, attack, duration. No, it starts a little bit later. No, it peaks a little bit later. So just if I start at 1/10 of a second later, it's going to be cool. That's what I had earlier. So let's just try that to start. Okay. Also, I gotta check, do I already have this delay functionality available inside of here? No. Cool. Okay, and then we got birth. Let's see. Sound effects, birth, egg, select, transform, dang it, position, egg no. Okay. And the other one's going to be simple. That's a lot of new code. That is a lot of new code. I caught a number of problems along the way, so I tend to think I was firing on at least 3 of my cylinders. I And I just compiled with no issue. It makes me feel like maybe I get it on the first run. I'm gonna say 62% chance I get it on the first run. Did I save it all? Did I build it all? I did. Okay. Let us try it. Feeling cocky. That was a good start. That was exactly what it's supposed to do. Gotta remember to take out all these blah 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 blah. And what's this one for? Wait, it's not normalized. It's not normalized. Why is it not normalized? It's a good assertion that I put there. Why would it not be normalized? This is a pocket design from a previous session. Let's yank that though. Actually, this is probably good. I just don't understand why that wasn't normalized. Okay, so there's probably going to be a few problems. Are you going to do a build underneath me? You don't have to. Okay, let me get rid of those extra logs. Don't need them anymore. This is weirding me out a little bit. So actually what I want to do is check when it gets to here that all the sound effects are normalized, and it includes the ones that I added. So let us clear all that out. Save it. I haven't saved in a long time. Save. Okay. Okay, I should run this in the debugger. It's actually playing exactly as I hoped. So let's get a third one in there. Oh, not like that. I don't know why I do that. Gotta go down to the prefabs. I'm real close to being done here. I can feel it. I can feel it. Give me an egg. Okay, let's get rid of some of the ice so I can get all of the eggs close together. Don't like that my ice auto tiling stopped working, but I don't feel like troubleshooting that right now. In fact, I might just get rid of a whole bunch of ice just to make things simpler. But just to not lose sight of it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Open a file folder. Oh. Okay, so now let's get the debugger going. Okay, so here's the question. Is my sound effects, are they in there? I think they have to be. It'd be really weird if they were not. Let's see. Axle, birth egg select, normalize true. Okay. Unselect, true. Okay. I'm guessing it's like it's an order of execution thing. Nice. Okay. Ryder is trying to serve me, always. Okay, so these sound effects are bound. I really think... Right, let's step in just so I can go to the other file. I think one of these is going to try to play before it actually can. Or before it should, I should say. And it might be that it worked because no, I don't think that's it. Hold on. So if I do this bind sound effects thing, okay. Yeah, I should copy this across too. Okay. So far it looks fine. Okay, Axel, what's the next one? Not that one. Okay, this one. So let me just double check. Is it still normalized in here? Yep. Yep. It might be that that call was already made previously. Down here before I had the breakpoint set, and it could have already thrown that assertion. So let's check Unity. Yes, that's all it is. Some different ways to handle this. It is like an ordering problem. So it's playing before it's been normalized, but that is a fluke. That one of the notes requested was one of the ones that had a sample available for it instead of one of the interpolated ones. So the normalization actually provides all the interpolated values. I think I don't want that glow effect to be there at the beginning of the level anyways. So I do want the egg to get set so that it has M's name on the closest egg. But do I want the big glow, and do I want a sound effect to go along with it? So that every time a level starts, it's going to womp and there'll be a big glow right next to her. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay. But you know what? Here's what will happen. That first note will play, and then it will normalize. In this case, I'm lucky. The first note was able to play. But let me finish testing the rest of this effect. I know how to continue to fix the problem. Okay, remember how I said it'll play in key? Let's do a different key. I'm happy. So I'm going to fix that one last little bug. I know how to fix it. And it's consistent with a change I want to make in the level start behavior, which is let's not have an effect when we begin. Let's not have an effect. Let's just have it be set. So let's call this, let's see. Almost done. It's a little bit anticlimactic that I'm just going to fix a problem that amounts to an assertion. Okay, whatever. Okay, so let's call it set birth egg effect. Okay. Don't need any of this stuff. Don't need this. Eggy toe, where you at? Let's create a different one called set player initial birth egg. Board effects. And let's say player piece. Yeah, high birth bowl piece. Player piece. High birth. You can also do board get player piece as high birth. That one. Yeah. Apparently that's a new way to do it, or something. Okay, then I need to player piece set birth egg. Oh, I already have something like this. Okay, we say player piece set birth egg. Birth egg. Okay, let me do effects, add new set birth egg effect. Birth egg should do it. Okay, build all that. Stop and build. Okay. So this should just start, and there shouldn't be any glow, there shouldn't be any sound. You should just say M over this egg right here. Okay, and there should be no assertions down here when I hit play. Save. Okay, off we go. Yep. That's it. That's a victory. I did what said I was gonna do. The egg is fucking finished. It's been like 5 sessions to finish the egg. But it's done. It's all done. It's all done. It's all done. The egg is 100%. Stopping the stream. Stopping the stream. Stopping the stream. Stopping the stream.